Beloved chosen one, listen closely. Heaven has paused the noise around you so that you can hear this moment. You are standing at the edge of a dawn the earth has not yet seen. The night was long, yes, but the morning has come, and it has found you still standing. You have survived what was meant to destroy you, and the very breath in your lungs right now is proof that God has not forgotten your name. Every tear that fell in the dark has been counted. Every cry that went unanswered in your midnight hour was heard by heaven. You did not walk through the valley alone. Angels were dispatched, even when you felt nothing but silence. The world thought you were finished, but the author of your story was simply turning the page. You were not buried, you were planted. And now, the soil of pain that once tried to suffocate you has become the very ground from which you rise. Can you feel it? Chosen one. The air is different. The weight that used to press on your chest is lifting. Heaven is sounding the trumpet of dawn, declaring, the battle is over. The darkness has lost its grip. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the evidence that God still resurrects what the world calls dead. There were nights when you questioned if you would ever smile again. Nights when even prayer felt like a whisper swallowed by silence. Yet here you are, stronger than you have ever been. You carry invisible medals of endurance that only heaven can see. Every scar is sacred ink, writing the testimony that will awaken others who are still trapped in the dark. And now, as morning light touches your soul, you begin to understand those sleepless hours were not punishment, they were preparation. The silence trained your ears to hear heaven's smallest whisper. What felt like isolation was the incubation of power. Every unseen moment was God's hand shaping a warrior of light. The darkness taught you endurance, but the dawn teaches you authority. You do not simply survive the storm, you command it now. The same waves that once threatened to drown you will now carry you forward. You are proof that resurrection is not a story, it is a lifestyle of the chosen. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Let those words sink deep into your soul. Joy is not coming eventually, it has already stepped into your atmosphere. You have crossed from survival into revival. You no longer walk with a limp of loss, but with the stride of victory. What was meant for your destruction has become the stage for your revelation. You have overcome. You are the living prophecy of restoration. You are the answered prayer someone else is still waiting to see. Your light has not dimmed through battle, it has intensified through pressure. The darkness did not destroy you because it could not comprehend you. You were always too radiant, too divine, too chosen to be consumed. Now heaven calls you to rise, not just in gratitude but in purpose. The world needs to see what endurance looks like wrapped in grace. Speak your testimony aloud. Tell your story without shame. For every soul still wrestling with despair, your voice will become their reminder that dawn is real. Chosen one, it is time to breathe again. It is time to dream again. You are not who you were before the storm. You have been refined by divine fire, reshaped by unseen hands, and reborn in mercy. The chains of yesterday have fallen, and the dust of battle no longer clings to you. You walk now under an open heaven. If this message finds you in your moment of awakening, lift your heart and give thanks. Type 777 in the comments as a prophetic act, a declaration that you have entered your season of divine completion. Let heaven see your agreement. Let the darkness know you are no longer afraid. Now, share this message with someone who still believes the night will never end. They need your courage. They need your light. And if you haven't already, subscribe and stay connected to this sanctuary of divine truth. so that every new word heaven releases will find its way to you in time. Because this is not coincidence, it is divine intervention. The trumpet of dawn has sounded, and it is calling your name. Chosen one. The light of morning reveals more than victory, it reveals transformation. You stand now in the aftermath of the storm, not as the same person who entered it, but as one remade in glory. The pain that once disfigured your hope has become the very proof that heaven's hand has been upon you all along. Every scar, every mark upon your spirit tells a story that darkness cannot erase. Look at yourself closely. You carry the evidence of survival, but you also carry the fragrance of resurrection. The wounds that once bled with sorrow now glow with purpose. The enemy thought that breaking you would silence you, but instead it gave birth to a new voice, steady, radiant, and powerful. You are no longer merely enduring life. You are embodying the victory that was written for you before time began. There was a time when you tried to hide the scars. You thought they made you weak, unworthy, or unlovable. But now heaven shows you the truth. Those scars are not signs of shame. They are seals of divine ownership. You belong to the one who never left you in the fire. Each line of pain became a stroke of divine artistry, shaping a soul that reflects eternity itself. The world has a strange way of recognizing power. It expects perfection, polish, and ease. But heaven recognizes power in brokenness that still believes. You did not come out of the storm untouched. You came out transformed. What you carry now is not the residue of defeat, but the aroma of redemption. As the apostle reminds us in his first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 57. But thanks be to God, who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Victory, chosen one, is not a trophy, it is an identity. You have become victory. You do not need to chase it. It flows through your veins. Every step you take now reverberates with the rhythm of divine triumph. The same hands that held you through the night now lift you into the light. Do you realize that your scars are sacred testimonies? When the world sees them, it sees survival. But when heaven sees them, it sees covenant. These are not reminders of what you lost. They are proof of what you gained: wisdom, empathy, discernment, and a love so fierce that even hell cannot mimic it. In the stillness of this new dawn, listen carefully. The Spirit whispers, "Do not hide what I have healed." Your story is not a wound to be concealed, but a song to be sung. There are those walking behind you who will find their courage in the echoes of your endurance. They will believe that light can return because they see it shining from you. The scars that shone are your crown now. They testify that you were refined in the furnace but not consumed. You were crushed, but out of that crushing came oil anointing that only pain could produce. You walk now not just in healing but in holy purpose. Think of the Savior whose hands still bear the marks of nails. Even after resurrection, he chose to keep the scars, not as reminders of torment, but as eternal symbols of triumph. The scars did not disfigure his glory, they defined it. And so it is with you. There will come moments when you still feel the phantom ache of what you went through. That does not mean you are weak, it means you are human, and heaven still moves through your humanity. Do not curse the reminders of your battle, bless them, for they remind you that you survived what once sought to consume you. The ones who once doubted you will begin to see it now, the glow that cannot be explained, the strength that cannot be measured, the peace that no darkness can counterfeit. You have stepped into a realm where your wounds have become weapons. Your past is now your pulpit. Walk with your head lifted high. The light that shines from your scars is not borrowed, it is birthed from within. Every time you smile, you prophesy that pain does not have the final word. Every breath you take declares, "I am still here, and I am stronger than before. Heaven looks upon you and calls you radiant. You may not feel perfect, but perfection was never the goal. Presence was. You carry the presence of one who redeems all things, who turns mourning into melody and loss into legacy. Chosen one, do not fear what others see when they look at you. Let them see it all, the history, the struggle, the victory. You are not meant to hide the proof of divine mercy. You are meant to wear it like armor. The light within you terrifies the darkness because it remembers what you have already conquered. The time of hiding is over. The time of apology is over. You have nothing left to prove. Your survival was never random, it was a prophecy. You were preserved for purpose, sustained for impact, refined for glory. And as you walk forward, the world will know this is what redemption looks like in human form. The scars that shone will guide others home. The battlefield is quiet now. Chosen one. The roar that once filled your mind has faded into sacred silence. It is strange, isn't it, after fighting for so long? You hardly know how to rest. You keep listening for footsteps in the dark, expecting another attack, another wave. But heaven says, peace, be still. You are no longer in the place of constant warfare. You are standing in the stillness after victory. There is a holy hush that follows every divine battle. The angels who fought beside you have sheathed their swords, their wings folded in reverent calm. Heaven celebrates quietly because this kind of victory is not loud, it is deep. It is not the shout of triumph, but the sigh of relief that says, I made it. You made it, and now you must learn the language of peace again. For too long you have lived in survival mode, ready to run, ready to fight, ready to endure. But peace requires something different. It asks you to receive. To rest is not weakness, it is worship. It means you trust the one who has already finished the battle on your behalf. You no longer need to fight for what grace has already secured. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. You fought because you had to. You endured because no one else could do it for you. But now, God whispers the command your heart has longed to hear: rest, not because you are finished, but because the foundation has been laid. The chaos has been silenced. Heaven has signed your release. The stillness may feel unfamiliar, almost uncomfortable. You were trained in battle, now you are being trained in peace. But do not resist it. The same God who called you to fight is now calling you to heal. Every great warrior must learn when to lay the sword down. In this silence, you will hear new sounds, your heartbeat aligning with heaven's rhythm, your breath syncing with divine calm. What once was noise becomes music. What once was pressure becomes peace. This is the sacred shift that marks a true overcomer. Do not rush out of this stillness. It is not emptiness, it is preparation. The quiet after battle is where revelation lives. God often whispers in peace what he could not say in chaos. The wounds you carried are being sealed by gentle hands. The heaviness is being replaced by holy rest. Chosen one, your mind needs this moment as much as your spirit does. The battlefield left marks on your thoughts, patterns of defense, habits of fear. But heaven is retraining your mind now, renewing it with assurance. You are not under attack. You are under restoration. The peace you feel is not temporary, it is eternal. If you listen closely, you will sense it, angels still watching over you. Not in war formation, but in still reverence. They stand guard not because danger remains, but because glory does. You are being protected in peace just as fiercely as you were in battle. This silence is sacred. It is where gratitude grows roots. It is where you finally exhale all that pain tried to make you hold. Do not mistake this quiet for absence. It is evidence of victory. The sound of nothing is often the sound of heaven saying, "It is done." You may wonder what comes next. But right now, your assignment is simple. Be still. Let peace be the proof that you are healed. Let stillness be your shield. The next chapter will come soon enough, but the author is still writing, and he wants you to rest between the lines. Every breath you take in this silence becomes a song of praise. Every moment you refuse to worry is an act of rebellion against fear. You are learning what it means to trust beyond sight, to know that God is still moving even when you hear nothing at all. Let your heart settle. The same spirit that once roared in battle now whispers comfort over you. You are safe. You are seen. You are surrounded. This is your divine pause, your sacred reset. Do not fill it with noise. Fill it with gratitude. Reflect on how far you have come, how many nights you thought you would not make it, and how many times grace refused to let you fall apart. And now, as you read these words, let your spirit respond. Type "I am still" in the comments below. It is not just a phrase, it is a declaration. You are proclaiming that the war within has ceased. You are declaring to heaven and to yourself that peace is now your position. Every time you write it, you align with divine rest. The silence after battle is not the end. It is the beginning of deeper hearing, clearer vision, and renewed strength. The storm was loud, but peace speaks louder. Listen carefully. Chosen one, the quiet you feel now is the sound of heaven rebuilding your strength. The war has ended, the silence is holy, and the stillness is victory. The battlefield fades behind you, and for the first time in a long while, you begin to walk without chains. The weight that once clung to your ankles, that invisible pull of fear and shame, lies shattered upon the ground. You feel lighter not just in body but in soul. You are no longer a prisoner of what was. You are a carrier of what is to come. The morning air feels different now. Each breath tastes like freedom. The things that used to enslave your thoughts, regret, bitterness, doubt, no longer have authority over you. They used to speak loudly, commanding your emotions like cruel masters. But today, their voices have been silenced by the one who called you by name. You are not bound by yesterday's failures. You are not chained to your past mistakes. The shackles have fallen, and you stand as living proof that redemption is real. You used to measure your worth by what you lost. Now heaven teaches you to measure it by what you survived. The chains that once defined you have become relics of testimony. They are not reminders of captivity, but monuments of deliverance. Every link that fell away is a witness that God still breaks the unbreakable. It is easy to remember how those chains felt, their coldness, their weight, their grip. They represented control, addiction, fear, self-doubt, guilt, and unworthiness. They whispered that you would never be free. But even while those lies spoke, truth was already moving beneath the surface. Grace was cracking the metal, mercy was loosening the locks, and love was already preparing the key. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in the second letter to the Corinthians. Chapter 3, verse 17. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Freedom is not only the absence of bondage, it is the presence of divine authority. It means the past can no longer dictate your destiny. It means that no matter who walked away, no matter what broke inside you, no matter how deep the wound, you are still chosen, still called, still destined for glory. The chains have no memory that can overrule God's decree. When you realize that the locks were broken by His love, something inside you shifts. You begin to move differently. You walk not in fear of being bound again, but in confidence that what God has freed cannot be enslaved. You stop glancing backward, waiting for the past to return, and instead lift your eyes toward the horizon. You understand now that freedom is not just an event, it is a state of being. And as you walk forward, you see them clearly, the broken links scattered along the path behind you. Pieces of who you used to be. Fragments of every lie you once believed. You do not despise them. You thank God for them. They remind you that you are no longer who you were, that grace truly does rewrite stories. Chosen one, do you see how the light reflects on the metal? Even the remains of your captivity gleam under the morning sun. That is what divine freedom looks like. It transforms even the remnants of pain into beauty. The scars of bondage become the jewels of your testimony. You no longer hide the evidence of your deliverance. You wear it with reverence. You are not running from your past. You are redeeming it. You are not pretending the chains never existed. You are proclaiming that they have no power now. You are not afraid of the echoes that try to return. They have lost their sound. You walk forward, unafraid, because truth is louder than memory. There is a sacred power that comes from realizing you are free. It does not roar. It radiates. It moves quietly through you, making peace with every piece of yourself that once trembled. You begin to love the version of you that fought to survive. You begin to honor the one who didn't give up, even when every voice said you should. The chains on the ground are more than broken, they are blessed. They are evidence that love is stronger than control, that mercy can shatter the hardest metal, that God's voice carries greater authority than any addiction, failure, or fear. In this moment, you stand barefoot on holy ground. The earth beneath you remembers the battles, but heaven above you remembers the victory. The wind carries the sound of freedom, whispering over your spirit. You are untethered now. Walk in it. You take one more look at what you've left behind, not in longing, but in gratitude, because everything that once confined you has become the foundation upon which you will now build. The darkness that held you has become the testimony that will light the way for others. And as the sun climbs higher, you realize that freedom isn't something you'll ever lose again, it's who you have become. The ground beneath your feet no longer trembles. You walk steadily now, chosen one, through fields once scorched by fire. Every step echoes with purpose. You are not wandering anymore, you are being guided. There is a pull in your spirit, gentle yet unmistakable, as if heaven itself is calling you forward. You pause, and in the silence, you hear it again, that quiet voice you once dismissed as imagination. It is not imagination, it is instruction. God is calling you not only to live free, but to lead. The same hand that pulled you out of darkness now points toward those still searching for light. You have walked through the storm. Now you must become the compass for those still lost within it. This is where obedience begins, not with grand gestures, but with small, faithful steps. A whisper here, a message shared there, a story spoken with trembling lips that sets another heart on fire. The light you now carry is not meant to be hidden, as it was spoken in the sacred texts of old. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." That verse is not merely poetry, it is your prophecy. You are the fulfillment of those words. You are the one who will bring illumination to corners where despair once lived. Imagine a candle lit in a dark room. Alone, its flame is small. But if that candle is shared, if its fire touches another wick, suddenly two lights burn brighter, and darkness shrinks. That is what happens every time you open your mouth to speak truth. Every time you share a word that once healed you, every time you choose compassion instead of silence, each act of sharing multiplies light. When you pass on hope, you are not giving away your own flame, you are extending heaven's. And so, I tell you, chosen one, do not underestimate the power of small acts. The post you share, the word you whisper, the video you pass on, each one becomes a bridge for someone standing on the edge. You never know who is watching in silence, desperate for a sign that dawn is possible. Your courage may be their confirmation. Even a seed knows that what it releases multiplies. You are that seed now, planted in divine soil. When you give, when you pour out what you have, the soil does not forget. It returns multiplied harvests of grace. If this message has watered your soul, then water the soil that feeds others. Support the voice that keeps echoing heaven's reminders in a weary world. Think of it not as charity, but as reciprocity, a sacred exchange. Your generosity becomes the wind that carries this message farther, to souls you may never meet but whose chains will break because of your giving. When you like, you are saying, I see the light. When you share, you are saying, I pass the torch. When you subscribe, you are saying, I will walk with this fire. And when you give, you are saying, I believe this light must never go out. These are not digital actions. They are divine agreements. They build altars in unseen places, and every click, every gesture becomes an echo of obedience in the spiritual realm. You may think what you offer is small, but remember, the widow's 2 coins shook heaven. The little boy's loaves and fish fed thousands. God has always multiplied the offerings of those who give with pure hearts. The smallest ember, when surrendered, can start a wildfire of revival. Chosen one, you are standing in that same sacred opportunity now. Do not let your flame stay contained. Feed the fire. Let it travel. Let it reach. Let it warm those whose hearts have gone cold. The voice that called you out of darkness is now calling you to be a conduit of light. You are not just a listener, you are part of a movement, a living current of grace flowing across nations, screen to screen, soul to soul. Take this message and let it live through your hands. Whether by sharing, subscribing, or sowing into this space that carries heaven's voice, do it as worship, not duty. Let your actions say, I remember the darkness I came from, and I refuse to let others stay there. You were once the one waiting for someone else's obedience to reach you. Now you are that someone. You are the voice that carries hope across the digital wilderness. You are the continuation of this divine story. Arise, shine. The glory has risen upon you. The light in you is not for show, it is for service. Let your obedience become a flame that refuses to die. And as you move forward, remember this truth: those who keep the light alive will never walk in shadow again. The fragrance of new oil fills the air around you. Chosen one. You can feel it, an invisible anointing resting upon your spirit like morning dew upon sacred ground. This is not the same strength you once had. This is something new, something holy, something weighty. Heaven has chosen this exact moment to pour a fresh measure over your life. You have walked through deserts where your spirit cracked with dryness. You have endured seasons where prayer felt like sand slipping through your fingers. But those barren days were never wasted. They prepared the soil of your heart to receive what is being poured out now. What once was dust will soon become overflow. You stand beneath an unseen river, and though you cannot see it, your spirit knows it's real. It flows not from earth, but from heaven's storehouse. You sense it in your breath, in the stillness of your chest, in the quiet awareness that something divine is happening right now. You are being anointed again, not for survival this time, but for reign. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 5. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Those words are not history, they are happening. The same oil that once marked kings, prophets, and warriors now touches your spirit. It sets you apart. It separates you from the ordinary. Heaven is sealing your endurance with divine recognition. What others could not see in you before will now become undeniable. Chosen one, this anointing is not just favor, it is fire. It will draw some near and make others uncomfortable. But do not fear it. Oil is meant to shine. Light is meant to reveal. Do not shrink so others can remain at ease. You were not chosen to blend in, you were chosen to transform atmospheres. When heaven anoints you, everything around you begins to respond. Closed doors tremble, hidden enemies retreat, even time seems to bend in your favor. You begin to attract divine opportunities and repel distractions that once delayed you. The oil of God carries intelligence, it knows where to flow and what to avoid. You may ask, why me? Because you endured what would have broken others. You stayed faithful when silence surrounded you. You kept believing even when you felt unseen. Heaven rewards that kind of faith with visibility, not to glorify you, but to magnify Him through you. Do not underestimate what this new oil will do. It will restore what was lost, illuminate what was hidden, and accelerate what was delayed. You will begin to see alignment where there once was confusion, clarity where there once was fog, and peace where there once was pressure. This anointing also carries responsibility. It is not for display but for service. You have been entrusted with divine influence, and heaven expects you to pour it out. Just as the widow's small jar never ran dry when she kept pouring, your oil will never cease as long as you give from it. You are a vessel, not a container. As this oil flows, it will reach others through your presence, your words, even your silence. You will walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere without speaking. People will sense something divine and not understand it. Yet their hearts will soften in your presence. That is the anointing at work. There is a price to carry oil, it comes through crushing. But the crushing was never punishment, it was preparation. Grapes must be pressed to release wine, and olive fruit must be broken to release oil. Your breaking was not your end. It was the beginning of your overflow. Look around you now. The evidence of favor is already appearing. Doors that were locked are beginning to creak open. Conversations that once ended in rejection are turning into opportunities. You are stepping into divine momentum. Every step forward will now carry the fragrance of heaven's oil. Chosen one, this is your sign. The wilderness season is officially over. The flow of anointing has begun, and you are walking under an open heaven. Angels are pouring. Destiny is unfolding. Your name is being whispered in divine circles of influence. Let this message be the seal upon your heart. You have been chosen, crushed, and now crowned. The oil that rests upon you will not fade. It will only multiply. If your spirit feels this confirmation, type 888 in the comments below. 8, the number of new beginnings. Multiplied, it is your prophetic declaration that you have stepped into overflow, that this is not another cycle of waiting, but the dawn of your abundance. When you type it, you are saying, I receive my oil. The heavens are open. The oil is flowing, and you, God's chosen one, are walking drenched in glory, shining with purpose, unstoppable by anything that once held you back. There is a moment, chosen one, when heaven holds a mirror before you, not the kind made of glass, but one forged in spirit. In it, you do not see what the world has told you to see. You see truth. You see reflection through revelation. The image looking back at you is not broken or weary. It is radiant, whole, divine. It is the you that God has always known for so long. You saw yourself through the lens of rejection, through the fog of failure, through the words others used to define you. You carried labels that were never yours, titles handed to you by pain unworthy, forgotten, too late, too small. But heaven's mirror does not echo human opinion. It shows identity, not insecurity. When God shows you who you are, you begin to remember what the darkness tried to make you forget. You were never ordinary. You were never a mistake. You were chosen before time, marked before birth, and anointed before awareness. Your existence is not accidental, it is intentional. Heaven did not make you to fit in, it made you to stand out. You were crafted to carry light in places that fear has long claimed. This mirror does not flatter, it frees. It reveals every hidden scar and turns it into gold. It shows every place the enemy thought he buried you and transforms it into proof of resurrection. You see both your fragility and your fire, your weakness and your wonder. And for the first time, you do not try to fix what you see, you begin to honor it. As was written in the first letter of Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. Those words are your reflection. Royalty, holiness, identity. They are not metaphors, they are declarations. They rewrite your self-perception. You were never a beggar in the kingdom, you were always an heir. You were never an outcast, you were always a vessel. Heaven sees you not as who you have been, but as who you were born to become. When you finally recognize yourself through heaven's eyes, something inside you shifts. You stop chasing validation from those who could never see your worth. You stop begging for tables that were never meant for you to sit at. Instead, you realize you were called to build your own tables where the broken can feast, where the lost can rest, where the forgotten can remember who they are. Look closer into that spiritual mirror. You'll notice that your reflection doesn't age. The light in your eyes is eternal. That glow is not from worldly success or fleeting joy. It is from divine awareness. It is what happens when you understand that your worth is not earned, it is inherited. Chosen one. This understanding is liberation. The enemy thrives in distortion, but truth dissolves his illusion. When you accept how God sees you, every lie begins to lose power. The fear that once paralyzed you no longer fits the person you have become. You begin to walk with quiet confidence. Not arrogance, but assurance, the peace that comes when identity is anchored in eternity. There will still be voices that question you, eyes that misread your glow, and hearts that envy your favor. But do not dim yourself to make others comfortable. Light does not apologize for shining, it simply illuminates. You were not chosen to be liked. You were chosen to lead by light. Every mirror in this world will try to distort your reflection: social approval, comparison, fear of failure. But the divine mirror never lies. It reflects only what God has designed. And when you return to that reflection, you will always find strength waiting for you. The beauty of this awakening is that it makes you see others differently too. When you recognize the divine image in yourself, you begin to see it in them. You speak life instead of judgment, hope instead of criticism. You become a living reflection of love in motion. That is what true chosenness looks like. It reproduces light. The mirror of the chosen is not fragile glass. It is a window into heaven's heart. Every time you doubt, return to it. Every time you forget, stand before it again. Let it remind you of your crown, your purpose, your divine origin. You are not becoming radiant, you already are. You are not learning to shine, you were born from light itself. The reflection before you is not a dream. It is destiny looking back, waiting for you to believe what has always been true. And as you breathe in this revelation, peace settles like sunlight upon still waters. You finally see yourself clearly, not through fear, but through faith, not through loss, but through love. Heaven's mirror never lies. Chosen one. And now that you've seen who you truly are, you can never unsee it. The air is different now. Chosen one. It carries the scent of restoration, the kind that comes not from luck, but from divine orchestration. You can almost feel heaven rearranging things around you, quietly returning what was taken, repairing what was broken, and redeeming what seemed lost beyond recovery. Restoration has begun not as a dream, but as a decree. For too long, you walked through empty fields where nothing grew. You watered the ground with tears, believing those seasons were wasted. But God wastes nothing. Every tear became irrigation. Every delay became divine timing. What you thought had died in barren soil was simply resting, waiting for this exact moment to bloom again. The voice of prophecy whispers across time and space, "I will restore." Those words are not wishful, they are legal. Heaven has signed your restoration order, and angels are already delivering it into the landscape of your life. Relationships once shattered are being healed. Opportunities once stolen are being rewritten. Strength once lost is returning in double measure, as was written in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 25. "I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten." Those are not poetic words, they are a covenant. The God who created time can bend it. The years you thought were wasted are not gone, they are being redeemed. The seasons where you thought nothing happened were actually years where roots were growing unseen. And now, what was underground is about to break the surface. Restoration is not only about getting back what was lost, it's about receiving better than before. When God restores, He multiplies. Job lost everything, but what came back was doubled. Joseph was betrayed, but the pit became his platform. Ruth was widowed, but her loss became lineage. You too are about to see how divine mathematics works. Subtraction becomes setup, and multiplication follows every surrender. This is the nature of restoration. It rarely looks like what you expect. Sometimes God doesn't bring back what was lost because He's bringing something greater. The door that closed was not rejection, it was redirection. The relationship that ended was not abandonment, it was graduation. Heaven knows the weight you can carry, and it refuses to let you settle for less than your calling. Look around you now, subtle changes are already forming. People you haven't heard from in years will suddenly reappear. Conversations once delayed will resume. Creative ideas you buried in fatigue will spark back to life. The river that once ran dry is finding its current again. But this restoration is not just external, it begins inside. The first thing God restores is not things, but you. He restores your joy, your confidence, your clarity. You stop surviving and start living. You begin to laugh again, not because everything is perfect, but because peace has returned to your soul. You begin to dream again, this time without fear of disappointment. The most beautiful part of divine restoration is that it leaves no evidence of what you endured. When the Hebrew boys came out of the fire, Scripture says they didn't even smell like smoke. That's what is happening to you. The pain will not stain your future. The fire will not follow your fragrance. There will come a day soon when you will look back at the ruins and not feel sorrow but gratitude. You will understand why certain things had to break before better ones could be built. You will see that the delays were never denials, they were divine pacing. God was waiting until the right moment, so your restored blessings would not only sustain you but outlive you. Chosen one. You are entering a season of reversal. The tide that once pulled everything from your shore is now returning treasures with each wave. The years you thought were empty are about to overflow. You will not have to chase them, they will find you. The same hands that allowed the breaking are the hands now rebuilding, piece by piece, day by day. You are being reassembled not as who you were, but as who you were meant to be all along. This is not compensation, it is transformation. And when restoration is complete, you will notice something holy. You won't even miss what you lost. Because what's coming will carry such peace, such purpose, such beauty, that the former pain will seem like a shadow compared to the sunrise ahead. Walk gently through this season, chosen one. Heaven is repainting your story. The canvas that once looked ruined is being covered in gold. The brushstrokes of mercy are writing new beginnings over old endings. And soon, when you stand before the masterpiece of your own restoration, you will say with wonder, "This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes." There is a gathering taking place, chosen one. Not of crowds or noise, but of hearts. Heaven is assembling the remnant, the ones who refused to bow when others surrendered, the ones who walked through fire and came out shining. You are among them. You are part of the sacred few who endured when endurance seemed impossible. You are not alone in this story. There are others, warriors marked by similar pain, carrying similar promises. You may not know their names, but your spirits recognize one another. You are connected by unseen threads, woven together by divine design. This is not a coincidence. This is the gathering of the remnant. The world sees individuals, but heaven sees an army. Quiet ones, faithful ones, misunderstood ones, each bearing scars that tell of victory. You, chosen one, are part of this holy company. You are not a survivor among many, you are a soldier among kings. The ancient words recorded in the letter to the Romans, chapter 11, verse 5, still echo today. So too, at the present time, there is a remnant chosen by grace. By grace, not by popularity, by obedience, not by applause. You are not standing because you are perfect. You are standing because grace refused to let you fall. You were preserved when others drifted because your name carries a divine assignment. The remnant is not large, but it is powerful. It is composed of those who have learned to listen in silence, to wait without wavering, to believe without proof. They are the ones who have walked through both wilderness and wonder, and who now carry heaven's sound in their very breath. You may have felt lonely, but you were never isolated. You were being identified. When God separates, it's not rejection, it's recognition. Separation always precedes elevation. The remnant is refined by fire because it will soon carry fire. There are others walking parallel to your path, unknown faces who pray with the same intensity, cry with the same faith, and believe with the same courage. Across nations, across screens, across time itself, heaven is weaving them together into one heartbeat. You are part of that pulse. Chosen one, understand this: the strength of the remnant is not in numbers but in purity. You are not called to fit in. You are called to stand firm. You are not meant to echo the noise of the world. You are meant to carry the frequency of heaven. When you walk into a room, you shift its atmosphere. When you speak, you awaken the weary. When you worship, you move mountains unseen. That is the authority of the remnant, quiet, unshakable, divine. But even remnant warriors need reminders. So let this be one you have not endured in vain. Every tear, every delay, every season of waiting was not wasted time, it was sacred training. You were being forged for a moment such as this. The remnant will never be loud, but it will always be effective. It moves in obedience, not in spectacle. It carries compassion as its weapon and humility as its armor. When it speaks, heaven responds. When it prays, chains fall. When it stands, darkness trembles. And now, chosen one, the call goes out again, unite. You are not meant to fight alone anymore. Look for the ones who carry the same fire. You will know them not by appearance but by spirit. They will feel like recognition, like remembering something ancient, something eternal. You are the spark in a constellation of chosen souls. Together you form a light that cannot be extinguished. The darkness may gather, but the remnant will always outlast it. For light, no matter how small, always wins. This is your confirmation that you are seen, that your quiet endurance did not go unnoticed. Heaven has recorded every moment of your perseverance, and now it crowns you with purpose. You are not stepping into a new season alone. You are stepping into alignment with others who have been waiting just like you. And as you feel this truth stirring within, respond not with fear but with faith. Let your spirit declare it. Type "I stand firm" in the comments below, not as an act of ritual, but as an affirmation that you are part of this holy remnant. When you write it, you are saying, "I will not bow to despair. I am part of the ones chosen by grace." Every time those words are spoken, heaven echoes them back. Angels record them as declarations of allegiance. The remnant is rising not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Across every corner of the earth, lights are flickering to life again. You are one of them. The fire in you is not just yours, it belongs to a greater flame. The remnant stands together, and the darkness, at last, knows its time is short. The wind shifts around you. Chosen one. The scent of oil and fire mingles with purpose, and heaven's whisper reaches your spirit again. Now that you have overcome, it is time to lead. Your journey was never meant to end in personal victory alone. It was always meant to awaken purpose. The anointing you carry is not a trophy, it is a tool. Every miracle God performs in your life carries an assignment. Every restoration, every healing, every answered prayer is a commission to serve others. You have been equipped not just to celebrate freedom, but to extend it. The same hands that were once bound are now empowered to lift others. You have been given a mantle, a spiritual robe of responsibility. It may feel heavy at first, but it fits you perfectly because it was woven from your endurance. Every thread in that garment tells a story: tears that turned into strength, silence that turned into songs, despair that turned into destiny. You wear it not to boast, but to bless. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 48. To whom much is given, much will be required. These words are not a warning, they are an invitation. You are being called higher. You have received light, so you must now become light. The world does not need more noise, it needs more carriers of truth, people who embody what they proclaim. Think of your life like a river. It was never meant to hoard water, it was designed to flow. When you release what has been poured into you, your time, your kindness, your wisdom, your testimony, the river deepens and widens. When you keep it to yourself, it begins to stagnate. Flow, chosen one. Let others drink from the abundance that once quenched your own thirst. Your words hold healing. Your story holds authority. There are people waiting for your obedient souls who will never find their way unless your light reaches them first. That is why this space exists. Why these messages continue to multiply light, to break silence, to spread the fragrance of divine truth to those who are fading in the dark. So, if these words have touched something deep within you, nurture the flame that keeps them alive. When you like, it is more than approval, it is a small ripple that carries the message farther. When you share, you plant a seed in someone else's storm. When you subscribe, you say, "Keep the river flowing, I am part of this journey." And when you give, whether a little or a lot, you pour oil back into the lamp that burns for others. It is not a transaction, it is participation. Every act of support, every click, every gift is like adding wood to a sacred fire. You may never meet the souls your generosity reaches, but heaven will. Think of it as a lighthouse standing on a rugged shore. Each offering, each gesture of support fuels its beacon. Somewhere far out at sea, a weary traveler sees that light and steers away from destruction. That's what your giving does. It keeps the light burning for those still searching. You are not funding a message, you are fueling a mission. You are saying, "Let there be light." You are extending the same mercy that once rescued you. This is how heaven works. It multiplies through partnership. Moses held up his staff, but Israel won the battle because others lifted his hands. This space, this voice, these words, they are the staff. But it is your engagement, your faith, and your support that keep them raised. And remember, generosity is not measured by size, but by sincerity. God never looks at the amount, He looks at the heart behind it. Even a drop of oil, when poured with love, can sustain a flame through the darkest night. So, chosen one, continue walking with open hands. Pour out your encouragement, your compassion, your time. Let what you have flow freely, and heaven will make sure you never run dry. The more you release, the more you will receive. The mantle of responsibility does not weigh you down. It lifts you. It teaches you that serving others is not losing yourself. It is discovering who you were created to be. Somewhere, someone's hope depends on your obedience. Let your life become their miracle. Let your story be the map that leads them home. Like a tree whose branches stretch toward sunlight, you are meant to reach outward. Every like is a leaf turned to heaven. Every share is a seed caught by the wind. Every act of generosity is another root digging deeper into the soil of divine purpose. Keep growing, keep giving, keep glowing. The light that brought you here now flows through you. And as you honor the call to support, to share, to sustain you, become the answer to the prayer someone else is whispering tonight. Heaven has a way of turning sorrow into something sacred. The ashes that once symbolized destruction now shimmer with hidden gold. Chosen one, you have reached the moment of divine exchange, the point where everything that once burdened you is being replaced with blessings you could not have imagined. This is not a dream, it is fulfillment. The path that once felt heavy beneath your feet is now covered in light. The grief that lingered in your chest begins to lift, not because you forgot what happened, but because you finally see its purpose. Every loss, every wound, every unanswered prayer has brought you here to this altar of exchange, where heaven trades your pain for its promise. You remember the nights of silence, don't you? The moments when your cries seemed to vanish into empty skies. Yet even then, God was listening. Even then, grace was moving behind the veil. You thought you were being ignored, but you were being prepared. Heaven's timing was not denial, it was design. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3. He gives beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Those words are not merely poetry, they are the contract of heaven. They are what is unfolding in you right now. The exchange is happening quietly but powerfully. Ashes are falling from your hands, and beauty is taking their place. Mourning is dissolving, and joy is rising like dawn. You are being clothed anew, not in sorrow, but in song. The divine exchange always begins in silence. There is no thunder when God restores, only the gentle sound of release. You begin to feel lighter, freer, as if the weight of years is being peeled away layer by layer. What once felt impossible now feels inevitable. What once brought tears now brings understanding. You begin to realize that the pain never truly defined you, it refined you. It was never the end. It was the beginning of transformation. Every heartbreak was a doorway. Every detour was divine redirection. Every closed door was God protecting you from rooms that could not hold your destiny. Chosen one. This is the mystery of grace. It does not erase the past, it redeems it. The same fire that burned your bridges has now forged your wings. You have learned to soar not because life was easy, but because God refused to let you sink. The divine exchange is also about perspective. What once looked like failure now looks like foundation. What once felt like abandonment now feels like alignment. You see clearly now that everything was orchestrated, even the parts that hurt the most. You were being pruned, not punished, stripped, not shamed, molded, not minimized. And in that revelation, gratitude begins to bloom. Gratitude not only for what was given, but even for what was taken. Because now you see that losing certain things was the only way to make room for what truly belonged. As you step further into this moment, you sense heaven whispering it is finished. The striving ceases, the need to prove yourself fades. You are no longer defined by what broke you, but by what healed you. The ashes you once clutched are no longer yours to carry, they have been replaced by glory. You may look at your reflection and hardly recognize yourself. The eyes that once carried sorrow now gleam with serenity. The heart that once trembled now beats with authority. You walk differently because you are different. You move with the quiet assurance of someone who has seen both darkness and dawn and knows that light always wins. This divine exchange also transforms how you relate to others. You begin to forgive easily because you understand the weight of mercy. You extend kindness freely because you remember what it was like to feel unseen. You love boldly because love was what pulled you through. Every blessing you now carry becomes a blessing you give away. Nothing in your life has been wasted, not one tear, not one loss, not one unanswered prayer. Every fragment has been gathered by divine hands and reshaped into something eternal. The ashes have been traded for beauty, and that beauty carries purpose. Chosen one, you are living proof that resurrection is real. Not only the kind that happens in tombs, but the kind that happens in hearts. You have become the evidence that life can emerge from ruins, that songs can rise from silence, that joy can bloom from the dust of despair. There will come a day when you will tell this story not with pain, but with power. You will speak of ashes and beauty, of loss and gain, of endings that turned into beginnings. And those who hear you will feel hope rekindle within them, because your testimony will be their invitation. This is the sacred truth. Every loss has been accounted for. Every tear has been stored, and every pain has been redeemed. The divine exchange is complete. You are standing, clothed in glory, crowned with joy, and filled with a peace that passes understanding. And as heaven watches, it whispers again, it is finished. There is movement in the unseen. Chosen one. A shift, a stirring, a wind that carries prophecy in its breath. You may not see it yet, but your spirit feels it, a divine acceleration, a sudden awakening of destiny long delayed. Heaven is in motion, and your name is being spoken in places you've never stood. This is the prophetic wind, the breath of God that moves through the invisible to rearrange the visible. It does not announce itself with thunder. It comes softly, like the first breeze after drought, Yet everything it touches begins to live again. What seemed still suddenly stirs. What seemed dead begins to rise. The Spirit moves differently in this season. It is not chaos, it is calibration. God is aligning what has been scattered, connecting what has been distant, and breathing life into what you thought was finished. You will begin to sense divine coincidences, doors opening without effort, people crossing your path at the exact moment you need them, opportunities appearing as if written by unseen hands. Scripture says in the Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 8, "The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear its sound, but cannot tell where it comes from or where it goes. So it is with everyone born of the Spirit." This is who you are now, one born of the Spirit. You are not limited by logic, not confined by human timelines. You move with the wind of heaven, carried by grace, propelled by purpose. Others will not understand your movement because it cannot be explained. It can only be discerned. There was a time when you felt stuck, as though life had frozen, every plan stalled, every door locked. You mistook divine stillness for abandonment, but now you see God was simply gathering the wind. The delay was not punishment, it was pressure building before release. And now, that release has come. You may wake up one morning and feel it instantly, the shift in the air, the pull towards something greater. The prophetic wind never leaves you where it finds you. It lifts you, repositions you, and restores you in ways no effort could achieve. It carries you not according to your strength, but according to your surrender. Do not resist it. Let go of the control that fear taught you to cling to. Trust the current. The wind of the Spirit will never take you where grace cannot sustain you. It knows exactly how to carry you from survival into significance. This is the moment when old things finally lose their grip. The wind will blow away what no longer belongs: relationships, habits, thoughts, burdens. Some of it will leave quietly. Some of it will be torn from your grasp. Do not mourn what the wind removes. It only takes what would have hindered your flight. Chosen one, when the wind begins to move, lift your heart, not your fear. Spread your faith like wings and let the current carry you. This is the season of divine propulsion. No more striving, no more forcing. The very breath of God is pushing you forward. There will be moments when you feel overwhelmed by the suddenness of change. It's natural. The prophetic wind does not ask permission. It obeys divine timing. But even as things shift rapidly, peace will remain. Because peace is not the absence of motion, it is the presence of God within it. This wind carries messages too. It will remind you of things you thought you'd forgotten, dreams buried under disappointment, words spoken over your life that you stopped believing. It will resurrect what unbelief tried to bury. The same Spirit that hovered over the waters at creation is hovering over you now, ready to speak. Let there be once again. Listen carefully. You will begin to hear whispers in your spirit, confirmations in unexpected places. Heaven's frequency is tuning your heart to divine timing. You will no longer chase what is meant to find you. You will attract it effortlessly because you are aligned. And now, if you feel this stirring, if you sense the wind moving even as you read, respond to it in faith. Type 444 in the comments below. 4, the number of divine establishment. On 444, the seal of stability, foundation, and fulfilled promise. When you type it, you are declaring, I align with heaven's wind. I am ready to move. This is not ritual, it is recognition. It is you saying yes to acceleration, yes to elevation, yes to destiny. The prophetic wind is not coming, it is here. And you, chosen one, are already in its flow. Let it carry you higher. Let it lead you home. Vindication is one of heaven's most mysterious mercies. Chosen one. It does not arrive when you demand it. It comes quietly, perfectly timed, when you have stopped needing to be understood. And that is precisely where you stand now. You are about to witness the moment when everything that once worked against you becomes the very evidence of God's favor upon your life. There was a season when mockery surrounded you. People questioned your faith, doubted your calling, dismissed your endurance. You tried to explain yourself, tried to defend your name. But the more you spoke, the more misunderstood you became. And so you fell silent, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. You learned that silence is often the most powerful sermon. Now heaven speaks on your behalf. The same mouths that once criticized will have no words. The same eyes that once overlooked you will have no choice but to see. God is preparing a display not of revenge, but of revelation. Vindication is never about humiliation, it is about illumination. The truth that was hidden will rise like the sun, and all shadows will vanish in its light. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 23, verse 5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Vindication doesn't always come with applause. Sometimes it comes with stillness, a peace that confuses those who expected you to fight back. Sometimes it comes in success, sometimes in serenity, sometimes in the quiet glow of joy that no circumstance can dim. That glow is upon you now. You see, the table God prepares is not built to exclude anyone. It is a table of mercy. Even those who hurt you may be invited to witness your transformation, not so they can be shamed, but so they can see what grace looks like in motion. They will not see your anger, they will see your anointing. In this new light, forgiveness flows easily. You no longer carry resentment because you realize those who wounded you were tools of refinement. Without their rejection, you would not have discovered your resilience. Without their betrayal, you would not have learned divine dependence. You can now bless what once broke you because you understand it built you. Heaven's vindication never seeks to punish, it seeks to perfect. The justice of God is not about destruction, but correction. It restores balance where lies once tipped the scale. It brings peace where chaos tried to root itself. It makes wrong things right, not by your strength, but by His sovereignty. Chosen one, you are stepping into a season where your life itself will speak louder than words. You will not need to explain, justify, or convince. Your fruit will testify. Your peace will preach. Your progress will proclaim what your prayers have always known God was working even when you were waiting. There is a certain grace that rests on those vindicated by heaven. It humbles instead of hardens. You find yourself less interested in proving others wrong and more interested in proving God right. You no longer need validation because revelation has already affirmed you. The tables truly are turning, but not in the way the world expects. You are not being elevated for revenge, you are being elevated for representation. You will stand as living proof of divine integrity, evidence that those who trust God will never be put to shame. Look around and you'll begin to notice it. The same environment that once felt hostile now feels holy. The same workplace, the same relationships, the same streets, something about them has changed. It is not them, it is you. You walk with different authority now, different presence, different peace. Vindication is not always a visible miracle. Sometimes it is the invisible confidence that no lie can undo what truth has already sealed. You walk in that truth now. You no longer need to defend your journey, heaven has already endorsed it. And when those who once misunderstood you finally see your glow, Remember this, respond with grace, not pride. Smile, not to gloat, but to testify. The same mercy that lifted you is available to lift them. That is how heaven wins, not through retaliation, but through redemption. Your table is being set. Your oil is overflowing. Your cup is running over with evidence that you were never forgotten, never forsaken, never defeated. You are the proof that God's justice is beautiful, that truth always outlives the lie, and that light always finds its way back to the center of every story. The fire burns differently now. Chosen one, it is no longer the kind that consumes, it refines. The same flame that once scorched your hope has become the light that leads your path. You have been through the furnace of affliction and come out glowing, not because the fire disappeared, but because you learned to live within it without being destroyed. You are a living paradox, fragile yet unbreakable, soft yet strong, silent yet powerful. The trials that once threatened to extinguish you only made your spirit burn brighter. Every hardship has become holy fuel. Every loss another log added to the altar of your purpose. What once burned you has now become your warmth. The fire of God is not punishment, it is purification. It burns away the unnecessary, exposing the essence of who you truly are. You once feared it because you misunderstood it. You thought it was meant to destroy you. But now you understand it was meant to define you. As it is written in the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 29. Our God is a consuming fire. Look at yourself now. There is a glow about you that cannot be explained by rest or sunlight. It is the gleam of endurance, the shimmer of divine resilience. The fire did not leave you empty. It left you extraordinary. You shine because you have been purified. The world often misunderstands those who carry fire. They mistake your passion for pride, your intensity for anger, your conviction for stubbornness. But heaven knows what burns inside you. It is devotion, not defiance. You are not consumed by ambition. You are carried by assignment. There is a holy urgency in you that refuses to be silenced. Chosen one, the fire that lives within you is not meant to stay hidden. It is meant to spread not as destruction, but as illumination. Wherever you go, sparks fly. Your words ignite faith in the weary. Your presence stirs peace in the broken. And your prayers light up dark corners that the enemy thought he owned. Do you remember how you once prayed for comfort, how you begged for the flame to ease, but now you would not trade it for anything, because you understand that comfort never created greatness. Fire did. Fire built your character, sharpened your discernment, and made your soul resilient enough to handle glory. There is something sacred about those who have walked through flames and still smile. Their laughter carries authority. Their silence carries depth, and their love carries weight. You are one of them now. You carry a heat that darkness cannot withstand. This fire inside you will never fade because it does not depend on emotion, it is fueled by eternity. Even when you feel weary, it will not go out. It may flicker, but it will never die. That is the mark of those chosen by God. They burn without being consumed. When others give up, you press on. When others lose faith, you rise in worship. When others are paralyzed by fear, you walk through flames barefoot, knowing that every step is sanctified. You do not fear the heat anymore because you have learned the secret. When you walk with fire, fire obeys you. There is beauty in this burn. It has made you sensitive to divine movement. You can now recognize when heaven breathes, when angels shift, when glory descends. The same heat that once made you restless now makes you radiant. You no longer dread change. You welcome it as another spark of transformation. You have become a torchbearer, a carrier of holy fire that lights the way for others. You are not here to burn down, but to build up, not to scorch the earth, but to awaken it. Wherever you walk, light follows. Wherever you speak, flames of faith ignite. You have become what the darkness feared, an unquenchable flame. There will be seasons when the fire feels quiet, when you question whether it's still there. But remember this: the flame may not always roar, yet it always remains. Beneath the ashes of routine, beneath the calm of peace, the embers of purpose continue to glow. You are not defined by the battles you fought, but by the fire you kept alive through them. It is that same fire that will carry you through every future storm. The fire that cannot fade is not around you, it is within you. It burns with the steady rhythm of eternity, reminding you that the same God who lit the spark will never let it die. You are His flame, you are His light, you are His burning testimony that no darkness, no trial, no shadow can ever extinguish what heaven has ignited. The air shimmers with quiet celebration. Chosen one, heaven itself is smiling, and though you cannot see it, the sound of rejoicing echoes through the unseen. You have reached the moment long written in divine history, the crown ceremony. It is not made of gold or gemstones, it is woven of endurance, humility, obedience, and light. You wear it already, though perhaps you do not yet realize it. You remember the weight of the journey, the storms, the silence, the moments you almost gave up. Yet here you are, standing not as a survivor, but as a sovereign. The one who called you from the dust has now crowned you with destiny. This is not the end of your story. It is the recognition of everything that forged you into who you have become. Heaven whispers through the ancient letter of Paul to Timothy. Chapter 4, verse 8. There is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give me on that day. That day has begun for you. The crown has been placed not by human hands, but by unseen ones. It sits upon your spirit, radiant yet weightless, humming with purpose. Every battle you endured was a thread in this crown. Every tear was a jewel. Every scar was shaped into silver. This is not about pride, it is about perspective. Crowns in heaven are not decorations, they are reminders. They tell you what you survived and who sustained you. They remind you that victory was never your doing, it was always His. You simply kept walking when surrender seemed easier. But now, chosen one, there is another call, gentle, holy, and deeply human. Heaven celebrates your victory, but the earth still needs your voice. The light that crowns you is not meant to stay upon your head. It is meant to fall upon others. Think of it like a torch passed in the dark. When you share light, it does not dim your own, it multiplies it. Every story you tell, every post you share, every moment you use your voice to lift another soul becomes a spark that pushes back the night. If these words have stirred your spirit, let your crown shine by action. When you like, it's as if you nod before heaven, saying, I receive this truth. When you share, it's as though you hand the torch to another traveler who's still searching for light. When you subscribe, you plant your roots in a garden that continues to bloom with divine revelation. And when you give, you do something sacred. You add gold to the crown that will rest upon countless others. Every act of generosity becomes a jewel in the crown of the collective, the body of believers, the chosen family. You are not merely supporting words, you are sustaining a movement of awakening. Think of this space as a lighthouse built from love and obedience. Every bit of support, whether a like, a comment, a donation, is another brick in that tower. The higher it rises, the farther its light reaches. Somewhere far away, someone drowning in despair will see that light and turn back toward hope. Your engagement is not a routine gesture, it is an echo of gratitude. It says, "This message found me, and I will make sure it finds another." You are part of the unseen choir that keeps the sound of heaven alive in a weary world. So if this word crowns your spirit tonight, take a quiet moment to bless it back. Leave a few words in the comments, your reflection, your testimony, your simple thank you, because every comment is a stone in the altar of remembrance. Together, we are building something sacred here, not a following, but a fellowship. Remember, even the smallest act of kindness can ripple across eternity. A click can become a calling. A share can become salvation for a stranger. A gift can become a miracle multiplied in ways you will never see. Chosen one, your crown glows brighter when it reflects generosity. Your story becomes more radiant when it ignites compassion in others. This is how we honor the giver of the crown, not by keeping it polished and private, but by using it to anoint others with courage. The ceremony is not finished. It continues every time you spread light, every time you choose faith over fear, every time you give from the overflow of gratitude. Lift your head. Feel the weight of glory upon you, not as burden, but as belonging. You wear heaven's approval now, and with it comes a holy responsibility to let the light that found you become the light that frees another. And as you do, the angels lean close, whispering, "Well done, faithful one, now shine." The journey continues. Chosen one. But it feels different now. The battles have ended, the storms have subsided, and the air hums with peace. You are no longer walking alone through ruins, you are marching with the redeemed. Around you are others who, like you, have come out of darkness carrying light in their hands and redemption in their hearts. Together, you form the procession of those who have been restored, healed, and made whole. It is not a march of pride, but of gratitude. Each step is a thank you, each breath a hymn. You can hear it, the soft rhythm of countless feet moving forward together. These are not strangers. These are brothers and sisters born of the same fire, refined by the same grace. You recognize them not by their faces, but by their glow. Every one of them shines with the unmistakable radiance of survival turned into song. This is the march of the redeemed, and you are among them. You walk not as one carrying wounds, but as one carrying wisdom. You no longer hide your scars. You wear them as medallions of mercy. The things that once broke you now build bridges for others. Every healed place in you has become a doorway for someone else's deliverance. As was written in the book of Psalms, chapter 107, verse 2. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, whom he has redeemed from the hand of the enemy. You are not silent anymore. The redeemed have a voice, and when they speak, mountains tremble and chains shatter. The world may not understand your joy, it is too deep for explanation, too holy for language. You sing because you survived. You rejoice because you were rescued. You dance because the dust that once covered you has turned to gold beneath your feet. Every step forward is a declaration that grace has won. Every heartbeat resounds with a promise kept. The Redeemer who carried you through every valley now walks beside you in victory. You are not being pushed anymore, you are being propelled. There is no strain in your stride, only rhythm. The same spirit that raised you now sustains you. In this march, you begin to notice something beautiful. The redeemed do not compete. They complete one another. Each one carries a piece of the song, a fragment of the story, a tone of the melody. When they walk together, heaven hears harmony. No voice is louder than another, yet every voice is vital. It is a choir of gratitude, a symphony of grace. You look to your left and see someone who once thought they would never heal. You look to your right and see another who once believed they would never rise again. Yet here they are, radiant and alive. Each carries the fragrance of deliverance. Together you walk through the fields of restoration, and every step awakens new life from the soil. This is what redemption looks like. It multiplies. It does not stop with one person. It spreads like light across a horizon. Your freedom has sparked another's faith. Your testimony has revived another's courage. Your endurance has given another reason to hope. You are part of something much larger than your own survival. You are part of heaven's restoration project on earth. As you march, the wind shifts. It carries laughter, the kind that only comes from souls once crushed, now lifted. It carries prayers whispered in gratitude, songs sung without words, joy that vibrates through the atmosphere. The sound grows louder, not from noise, but from unity. Every redeemed soul contributes to the rising roar of thanksgiving. You realize something sacred. Redemption is not a destination, it is a movement. It continues with every act of forgiveness, every offering of compassion, every hand extended to another traveler still trapped in shadow. To be redeemed is to become a redeemer. To have been rescued is to now reach back for others still drowning. The march is endless because love is endless. There is always someone else to lift, another heart to heal, another story to rewrite. And yet, in the midst of that motion, there is peace, a peace that says you do not have to strive anymore. You are not working for love, you are walking in it, King. The path ahead glows with gold, lit by the collective light of those redeemed before you. You are part of that lineage now, a living testimony in motion. The sound of your steps joins theirs. Echoing through eternity, grace wins. Mercy reigns. Love endures. And as you continue forward, shoulder to shoulder with those once broken but now whole, you realize something profound. Redemption is not a second chance, it is a brand new creation. You are no longer who you were. You are the living proof that even ashes can march like royalty beneath heaven's dawn. The light has changed, chosen one. It is softer now, no longer blinding, but endless. The horizon stretches in gold and quiet flame, and for the first time, there is no shadow behind you. The long night has finally ended. You stand at the edge of a new dawn that will never fade. A morning not born of time, but of eternity itself. This is the place where the darkness bows and the redeemed rest. You have crossed through valleys where the sun refused to rise, through wildernesses that echoed with silence. Yet every step, every tear, every act of faith has brought you here to the eternal morning. The air is alive with peace. The sky seems to breathe. Every sound, wind, heart, whisper moves in perfect rhythm with grace. This is not the fragile peace that the world offers. It cannot be broken by fear or stolen by circumstance. It is the peace that comes after everything has been surrendered and redeemed. It is the stillness after a long storm when heaven whispers, "You are home." It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 20. The Lord will be your everlasting light, and your days of sorrow will end. The promise has been fulfilled. The sorrow that once lingered like smoke has vanished into sunlight. The ache that once pulsed in your soul has been replaced by a warmth that never cools. This is not temporary happiness, it is eternal wholeness. Every part of you that once fractured has been mended by divine hands. Look around, the landscape of your spirit has changed. Where there were ruins, there are now gardens. Where there was silence, there is song. The ground beneath you glows faintly with life. Every blade of grass, every whisper of wind seems to say, "It is done." The night cannot return, it has no power here. In this eternal morning, you finally understand what all the waiting was for. The pain was not wasted, it was the soil from which purpose grew. The confusion was not chaos, it was the rearranging of destiny. You see now that the path was never random. Even your detours were part of design. You begin to breathe differently. Slower, deeper, fuller. The air tastes like newness, and your lungs expand with gratitude. You no longer pray from desperation, but from communion. Every word is worship. Every breath is thanksgiving. You no longer chase peace. You have become it. And as you walk forward, you realize something profound. The light is not around you anymore. It is within you. It pulses from your very being. The same light that created stars now dwells in your heart. The God who guided you through storms now rests within your soul. You and heaven move as one. Move. The eternal morning does not mean the absence of life's movement. It means every motion now flows with meaning. Work becomes worship. Silence becomes song. Existence becomes prayer. You no longer ask, "What if?" because you know who is. The unknown no longer terrifies you. It excites you, for wherever you go, light goes too. The world around you may still spin in chaos, but you walk as one who belongs to another realm. You carry calm into storms, hope into ruins, love into bitterness. You have become the continuation of the dawn, wherever your feet touch. Morning follows. Chosen one. You have been refined into light itself. You are no longer merely a believer, you are a bearer. The days ahead will not be free of challenge, but they will be full of clarity. The difference now is that you will never again walk in darkness. The light that once guided you from afar now guides you from within. In this eternal morning, time itself seems to slow. Every memory of pain fades like mist under sunlight. What remains is gratitude pure, unshakable gratitude. You thank God not only for deliverance, but for the journey that led you to it. Because now you understand without the darkness, you would never have recognized the dawn. This is the final revelation: the darkness is over, but its purpose remains. It taught you endurance, compassion, and faith. It carved space within you large enough to hold light that never dies. The night's shadow became the canvas for heaven's masterpiece. You look up, and the sky is not just morning, it is eternity unfolding, and the horizon does not end. It continues into forever. You smile, not because everything is perfect, but because everything is whole. And from the depths of your spirit, a single truth rises like sunlight: you have overcome. The darkness is over. The light has come, and it will never leave. Chosen one. If these words have reached the deepest parts of you, then the light within you has already begun to rise. Let it not end here. The story continues through your hands, through your voice, through your willingness to keep the flame alive. When you you are placing your stone on this altar of remembrance, saying, "This truth found me." When you share, you open the gate for another soul still wandering in darkness to step into dawn. When you subscribe, you join a circle of light, a family that continues to grow, one redeemed heart at a time. And as you leave your thoughts in the comments, your words become part of this living testimony. Each one adds a new spark to the fire we've built together, a fire that travels farther than we can imagine. This is more than content, it is communion. It is heaven's whisper passed from soul to soul. So take this light, nurture it, and let it shine through every act of kindness, every moment of courage, every breath of gratitude. Because the darkness is over, and now, through you, the morning continues.